Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage your act for the evening. It's Michael Akadiri.
Let's get it.
Woo! 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 When I say lun, you say dun. Lun? Dun. Lun? Dun. When I say so, you say ho. So? Ho. So? Ho. That's the temperature. I love it. All right, okay. Seeing as you did that so well, let's see how you do with this next one. So when I say trust me, you say daddy. I want to hear all the fellas as well, yeah? Let that come from your diaphragm. Don't be shy now. All right, let's try it. Trust me. Daddy. Trust me. Daddy. See how easy that was? It just rolled off the tongue. But don't worry. It's not going to be a kinky set. You can relax your a-holes, it's all good. Now, I got you to do that because the title of this show is Trust Me, I'm a Daddy. And it's called that because as I stand here before you people, I'm actually the proud father of a 12-week-old little boy. Oh, thank you so much. His delivery was smooth, but my first son, what? He had the Liz Truss of a birth. I thought I was gonna have an Amazon Prime baby. But this boy came like it was a problem. So my boy, he got stuck on the way out. And you know what? I can't even blame him. It was his first time. So the obstetrician said we're gonna need to use a ventouse. Do you guys know what a ventouse is? Okay, all right. For those of you who don't know, you muggles, where it is, yeah, it's basically getting a Henry Hoover and tugging the baby out. So my mother-in-law was like, rah, is this gonna affect the baby's head shape? Which is a very reasonable question. So the obstetrician, to reassure us, was like, don't worry, I was born with a ventouse. So we'll simultaneously both look at this man's head. And we weren't assured. From the side, oh, this shit looked like the Himalayas. I said, be a professional, keep that shit confidential, please. But then I spoke to my mum, and apparently I was born with a ventouse. But I don't think my head shape is fucked up. But I think what happened to me was the ventouse sucked my hairline back. So I'm out here like a ventouse victim. Do you know the worst part was, man? When my hairline evaporated, my dad, he never sat me down and warned me that was gonna happen. He didn't tell me shit. He let my barber break the news to me. What I'm trying to tell you, London, 10 years ago, my barber told me I would have 5 trims left. April 5th, 2012. And the reason I remember that date, because it was just before the London Olympics, and every time Mo Farah would win a fucking race, he'll do the Mo-bot. And I took this shit personally, because I felt he was pointing to my future. That's what I felt. And the way it happens at my barbershop, when you're on your last 5 trims, you get handed over to the palliative barber. And he's the one that takes you through your end of hair care. That's a mascara, we looking nice though. What? Shut up. Okay. I've got a good friend. His name is Kazim Jamal. He's a comedian too. And he's got a special out on YouTube right now. It's called No Dad, No Problem. He hasn't got a dad, but he's got a hairline. And I've always wondered, what would I rather have? a dad or a hairline. It's a difficult thing to consider. But Lord knows if I had that choice, I'll be standing here looking like Bob Marley, that's for sure, man. Fuck you, me. Now I'm messing around. I love my dad, but I don't tell him enough. And I got a question for the fellas in the room now. Fellas in the room, make some noise if you tell your dad, assuming he's still with us, that you love him. Make some noise if you do that. A couple. And you know what? I blame that on people. I blame that on toxic masculinity. And I'm going to be real with you guys. I suffer with a little bit of that too. So I said, you know what? I'm going to call my dad. I'm going to address that shit. So I called him. I was like, hi, Dad. He was like, your mum's not in. And that was the duration of that conversation. Last time I called on Father's Day. But because of that, people think my dad's on the spectrum, or as the kids call it, being acoustic. I'm like, no, he's not. What he is 100% Nigerian. That's his diagnosis. And one of the main symptoms of that is the inability to express yourself emotionally. Like the closest I've had to I love you is I made you. That's how close. I remember when my boy was born, he held him up like Rafiki to Simba and was like, grandson, I made you. I was like, you better not have. Not gonna do me like Bradley Braddon, that's crazy. But being a father is more than words. It's about your sacrifices and your selflessness. And since becoming a parent, I've been reflecting on the sacrifices my father made for me. So this show right here is actually a tribute to my father. But he doesn't know that because my mum wasn't in. So, before we get into the meat of the show, I just want to get a lay of the room. Fathers in the room, make some noise. There we go. Mothers in the room, make some noise. A bit more joy. And everyone else, I guess, is still pulling out. Okay, that's brilliant. Lovely to see. It's a cost of living crisis, man. I get it, man. But you know, there are different responses a man has on the prospect of becoming a father. Like, did you guys know that there are men out there that can experience pregnancy symptoms before their partners? They get morning sickness first, mood swings, sore nipples. Do you know what the scientific term is for those men are? Bitches. But I didn't experience any of those symptoms. We had a very gender-neutral pregnancy in that we didn't want to know what we were having, which was difficult for me because I can interpret a sonogram. So every antenatal appointment felt like I was playing a game of Where's Willy. That's what it felt like to me. I was trying to not see the dick. That's what I was trying not to do. But curiosity did get the better of me. And I'm convinced the way we can see those babies on the screen, they can see us right back. Because as soon as I swiveled my head, all I see him do on the screen is this. He hit the Michael Jackson, hee-hee. So I had to wait till the birth. But let me tell you something, people. When I saw them baby balls for the first time, why? I got so excited, I did something insane in the membrane. And I quit my job. Some of you are probably surprised. Imagine how my wife felt. Her push present was a P45. Imagine that. But there's a method to the madness. There's a method to it. And I'll be honest with you, I never expected that I would leave my medical job, let alone the same month my son was born, to tell jokes to 70 people in the basement. I did not expect that would be my future. I was hoping for 100 at least. But you know what? Because comedy was just a hobby. It was a hobby which got out of control. Like, do you know what changed my fortunes? It was the Pandy P. Pre-2020, I wouldn't even mention I was a doctor on stage. Then I saw the amount of love we were getting with those Thursday claps. Why? The next gig I did, I wore a full hazmat suit. Looked like I was Breaking Bad in that joint. And with that, my career started to take off. I took my debut show, No Scrubs, to the Edinburgh Fringe, toured it around the UK, and the momentum was so much that medicine started to feel like a distraction. I started making mistakes. You know your mind is elsewhere when you walk into the waiting room and instead of the patient's name, you say the diagnosis. I walked into that joint like, syphilis? Is syphilis here? Maybe it's the middle name, gonorrhea. Where's gonorrhea in this joint? Definitely smells like gonorrhea, somebody lying. So that's when I knew I needed a reprieve. So ever since my first son came down the birth slide, I've been on a sabbatical. I've taken a step back clinically. So by night, as you see me, people, I'm a stand-up comedian. But by day, I'm actually a house husband. I'm telling you, not everyone has been... Oh, thank you so much. When one lady gives a damn, I appreciate you, lady. But you know, not everyone has been as supportive as that. Like one guy said to me, by being a house husband, I've taken a woman's job. And the worst part is, ironically, he's a male midwife, so I didn't really understand the angle. Pot kettle fucking black, that's crazy to me. But I'm a proud house husband, London, and I stand 10 toes on that. And I take my sons to all their baby endeavours, and at 6 months, that included baby sensory class. Have any of you heard of this fuckery before? Okay, for the uninitiated, it's basically Ibiza for tots. There is dance music, disco lights, baby chugging bottles. Down it, down it, down it. They're back in the formula like it's the prohibition. I thought I was in a speakeasy for sucklings. The host, oh my giddy giddy gosh, she looks like a coked up tour rep. She's like, hi kids. Who wants to buy some bubbles? I then look at my son and he's fast asleep. I said, you're not gonna squander my money. You better blow them bubbles like a West Ham fan. That's what you finna do. Not wasting my child benefit. So I took him to baby swim class. Because swimming, oh, that's a vital life skill. And I didn't want him to end up like my cousin. So, IB for 2015. We were there for my brother's stag do. And before hopping on the inflatable banana, everyone made a public declaration that they could swim. They were like, oh, they call me black man. That's what they were telling me. And you know what? I thought nothing of it, because it's not something you can really lie about unless you don't value your life. So we were deep in the Mediterranean Sea now. Speedboat makes a sharp left turn. Whoosh, we capsize. My cousin's in the water like this. Wave. Wave just doing the Harlem shake in the water. Life jacket doing all the work. So we swim over to him. We dap him up. And he's like, oh, so I can't swim. I said, what do you mean you can't swim? He said, I didn't know I couldn't, so I thought I could. I said, get out of the water, you fucking land mammal. Get out of the water, man. Black man, my ass, that's crazy. But there was drama at my son's last swim lesson. Oh, my Lord. Do you know what I realised, London? People that work with real young kids, they speak in their own dialect. Obviously, in this country, we've got several different dialects. Like, you know, you've got the posh folk, speak a bit of RP, received pronunciation. Being from London, it's not uncommon to hear some MLE, multicultural London English. You could walk the streets and hear someone go, yo, wagwan, my brother. You look up, you're like, Rupert, don't do that again. Looking like Reese-Mogg, talking like Sully, get the fuck out of here, Rupert. But people that work with real young kids, they speak in fluent nursery rhymes. Everything is Disney to them. It could be a little drizzle outside. They're like, it's raining, it's pouring. That's how they are. So I'm at my son's swim lesson now, and they're getting the baby to do this exercise where they're just gliding along the railings, gliding along. gliding along. The swim instructor comes up to me and my boy, and she's like, monkey, monkey, who's the cheeky monkey? I was like, what in the hatred did you just say to me? Because look, I've been racially abused before London, but never to a beat. You should be able to vibe to your own mockery. I'm a Sunday nodding along. So I'm sharp the nursery rhymes now, people. Oh, you can't get shit past me. The next one she tried to drop, she was like, bar. I said, black what? Better be bar. Tunis where it better be. Fuck around me. So I've been taking my son to swimming. I don't know how long for, but as a new father, I'm always looking for a better way to be a better parent. So I turned to parenting books because I thought if you're an author, you must be an authority on the topic. But I read one sentence of this top tip for dads, and I realized, man, I don't think this man's even met a woman. Let alone got one pregnant. Because this man said verbatim, he said, during the 3rd trimester, tell your partner, despite how she looks. I'm going to say that again. He said, tell your partner, despite how she looks, you still love her. I've had better advice from the man outside the bookies. That is crazy. And that's how I know he's not met a pregnant woman, because he would know it's very difficult to compliment a pregnant woman. Easy to congratulate, difficult to compliment. Case in point, my wife, she was about 9 months gone. So she was showing, growing, ready to get going. I walk into the bedroom and I see her pulling up her pregnancy nappy. She was butt naked too, so she was looking like Patrick Starfish. So to reassure her, I hit her with the James Blunt. I was like, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. She hit me with the slipper. You can't say anything. You can't even say, I would. They'll look at you like you're a sexual deviant. What, you'll be knocking my baby's head? You can't. Leave him with a cock concussion, you can't. That's why I say congratulate, don't compliment. So I'm trying to figure my way with this parenting thing. But the funny thing is, when people find out I've got this background as a doctor, they expect me to be some parenting guru. And I don't really understand it, London. Just because I could save a child doesn't mean I can raise one. Same way, just because Rishi Sunak is a billionaire doesn't mean he had Sky TV. Do you understand what I'm saying? We've all got our struggles. Case in point, 2 weeks after my first son was born, I took him to get circumcised for 2 reasons. 1, because I'm Catholic. And 2, I don't really like them pigs in blanket penises some of you guys have got. I'm sorry, some of that shit looks like E.T. on a turtleneck. I don't know what's going on. They say that men are suffering from a mental health crisis and we don't know why. I do. And usually at this point of the show, there are women who are laughing and there are men that shrink into their hoodies. So I don't know what. So I just want to say at this point, if you are a man and you've got a hoodie, make some noise, please. Hoodie! There we go. Be proud of your hoodie, man. There we go. Where's that? Put your hand up, gentlemen. Be proud of what you got, man. We got one hoodie. Any other hoodies in the room? There we go, man. We got hoodies galore, man. Be proud of what you got. That's what I'm saying. Don't be shy. Be proud. Another yet? What? No. Don't deny it. No, if you got a hoodie, be proud, my brother. No hoodie. No hoodie. No, you got rid of it. Okay. I see you, brother. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I'm just saying, just if you be proud of what you got. That's the point. If you got one, be proud of it. Just what I'm saying. Just rock with it. That's what I'm saying. You know, you may not need it this summer, but be proud of it. That's what I'm saying, man. It's kind of hot out there, a bit humid down there, but it's cool. Be proud of what you got. So I get recommended a rabbi because Jewish boys also get the kaka. But I'm not Jewish. I don't know this rabbi from nowhere. So I Google his name, or see stats, or see CV looking like. No hits. I'm thinking, boy, my son can't be no guinea pig. But then I realized, man, who's really reviewing their circumcision online? Who's doing that? And what would that website be called? Snip Advisor? What's going on? What's really happening? So I go down to the clinic. As soon as I get there, people, they said it'll be £200. I'll be honest with you, London, I didn't have that. So I said, you guys do an NHS discount. They say, no, they don't, but the best they could do for me is buy one, get one half price. And I was like, where's the extra dick gonna come from? Because I don't need it. So I call my brother-in-law. I'm like, hey, bro, do you know how I didn't get you anything for Christmas? Let's get that toad out that hole. Let's do it. So that breaks the ice to the rabbi. Now he knows what I do. We put my son on the procedure table. He brings out the scalpel. It's time to go. Then he goes, by the way, Michael, what type of medicine did you do? I said, man, I did a bit of surgery. Then he goes, why don't you do it? Now I can see why I was half price. Now I understand. I ain't done this shit before, London. What if I do it and take away too much dick? And leave him with a little stump? Then in the future, he can't get no play because he's got the nickname Humpy Stumpy. What the fuck am I meant to do? So I just hand the scalpel back to the rabbi and I uttered words I never thought I'll say to a religious leader. I was like, look, I trust you with his penis. Shalom to that, shalom, peace. But truth be told, I used to work with kids. I used to work in pediatrics. And do you know what I thought, London? I thought working with kids will prepare me for my own child. But it doesn't work out like that. Because you can sign out of working with kids. You can't sign out of being a parent. Well, unless you're Dwight York. But normally... What did I say? No, normally you can't sign out. For example, if it's 3 a.m. and my son's slapping me to wake up, I can't be like, I'm off duty. Bleep the nurses. So what I normally do, I just roll over to my wife, who's also a doctor, be like, babe, you got a referral, and it smells urgent. But truth be told, I was actually my hospital's pediatric resuscitator at one point. Not just pediatric, neonatal resuscitator. That's babies fresh out to joint. And when you say that in rooms, people sometimes get a bit tetchy. But all it is initially is rubbing a baby down with a towel. That's all it is. Can I ask you, my friend here, have you used a towel before? Well, yeah, see, it's easy enough. It's not hard. Did you know you could save a baby's life? Did you know that? No idea. What just happened, people, in the NHS, they call that training. They threw me a towel and said, going out there, start saving these babies. I remember the first week, I got a call on my phone. A ding, 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 ding. Ah, da, 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 da. Crazy frog. And they said it's a young girl, her first baby. So I run into the labour suite. All I see is ring lights, cameras. I'm thinking, what in the whole city is going on in this bitch? It turns out this wannabe Molly May, she's a YouTuber, and she's using her 24 hours to make a birthing vlog. Now I'm at the risk of becoming a meme. I don't like that shit. I grabbed the baby and I was like, look, have you cut the cord? Because last time we did this, I pulled it and mum came with me. It was a walk bus. Look, she just water skiing on the paddling pool. I then put the baby on the table. This towel I had, London, was made of Egyptian cotton. The finest. I thought once I stroked this baby, he finna rise like the Undertaker. But instead, this baby pees in my mouth. Disgusting, right? But let me tell you, that shit tastes like vitality. That shit tastes like life. My wife wants to do that at home. I said, only for my patients. I'm a professional. Only for my patients. But child CPR is a bit niche. I think something that's a bit more mainstream is adult CPR. Make some noise if you know how to do adult CPR. Well, quite a few of you. I think everyone should know, so I'm going to go through it very quickly. When you're taught to do adult CPR, you're normally taught to do it to the beat of Staying Alive. You guys heard of that? So it's like, staying alive. And you'll be vibing. You'll forget there's a life to save. And that's the problem with the music. And that fucked me up one time, London. Woo! I'll be real with you, that messed me up. So I was on a night shift. I was with one of my nursing colleagues. A patient becomes unresponsive. So she goes over and she's like, Annie, are you okay? So I was like, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? But at this point, it became a duet. We forgot Annie wasn't okay. Then I hit the chorus now. I was like, you've been struck by a smooth criminal. Then I started doing compressions to the beat. Anyway, very, very proud to announce, London, that Annie was okay. Annie was fine. But the wickedest thing, man, Annie had a DNAR in place. If you don't know what that is, some of you are probably on one. But if you don't know what that is a do not resuscitate order. We were meant to revive Annie. We were meant to leave Annie not okay. But the saddest thing, Annie knew this. So when she came to, she thought she was dead. She was like, am I in heaven or hell? I said, no worse, you are in Croydon. And that's all she wrote. But this about Cornwall, like living in Croydon, this about Cornwall can be considered risky. And I got a question for you guys now. Let's do this like a democracy we are. What do you think is dicier? A man leaving his job the same month his son is born, so that's A. Or B, a man leaving his home country to go to a foreign one whilst his wife is pregnant. So only vote for one. Make some noise if you think A is riskier. Make some noise for B. That's unanimous. And you know what? I agree with you guys, because that's exactly what my father did. So, 1986, my dad left Nigeria, which is a Commonwealth country, to come to the UK, the head of the Commonwealth, because he thought that wealth would be common. But he soon realized the wealth isn't common, or this kingdom, it's not united. Do you know what? I think there's only one thing that really unites us as a country, regardless of your political beliefs or religious background, and that is an extra bank holiday. You may not even support the reason behind the bank holiday. Like, I know people who want to abolish the monarchy. They want to turn Buckingham Palace into a big Tesco. But when that coronation was announced, they were two-stepping more than the king himself. I'll tell you that for free. They were doing Charlie in the name of Charlie. It was scary. I'm not a big fan of the Commonwealth. I particularly don't like the Commonwealth Games, because that doesn't make sense to me conceptually. I'll give you guys an analogy. The Commonwealth Games to me is like a man forcibly having his way with women. So let's just call him a Met police officer. And what did I say? And they all get pregnant, but instead of apologizing, he just invites them all to the baby daddy games. But my dad, he realized that the wealth wasn't common, so he got to work like any good immigrant. He was a kitchen porter for a while. He delivered the post. Heck, he even drove the bus, despite not knowing the route. The front of his bus said Trafalgar Square. He was in Watford. Explain that one. His boss asked him what happened. He said, Jesus took the wheel. He blamed the good laws. But my dad came here educated. Don't get it twisted. He came here educated. He came here with a degree in marketing. But the problem is, anytime he went for a marketing job, they treated him like he got his degree from the off license. Like he graduated from Raj's Food and Wine. He went for one role. Oh my goodness, you got a marketing degree? That's fantastic. Was this from Durham, Loughborough? He goes, oh, it's from Nigeria. She goes, oh. Well, here at Stay in Your Lane Marketing, we treat foreign degrees like we do Scottish notes. We can accept them, but we rather not. Isn't It's cold, but that's the reality. And you know what, people? It didn't have to go down like that. Because my dad had a marketing degree, and Britain is one of the best marketers in the world. Would you guys agree? When it comes to PR, Britain is top tier. Okay, some of you are unconvinced. Let me see if I can convince you. What other country has the audacity to call itself great? That is marketing 101. And let's be real, I have to be frank though. Like, if we consider Britain's rap sheet, it's a bit brazy for it to call itself great. Like, Britain's done some great things, don't get me wrong. It won 2 world wars, back to back. If there's a third, Gen Z will end that streak. But it's done some heinous things too, don't get it twisted. Like, it was involved in slavery, the aforementioned Commonwealth Games, pillaging India despite finding salt spicy, all these things. But it's not all doom and gloom. It's not all doom and gloom. And my dad eventually got a British degree in mental health nursing. My dad has been a mental health nurse for 30 years. Isn't that commendable? 30 years, mental health nursing. And I think that is so commendable for a man who doesn't believe in mental health. Hey, it's a long time to pretend. When it comes to depression and anxiety, he's a flat earther, that's who he is. He's a professional, but you're better off speaking to Alexa, I'll tell you that much. But my dad's sacrifices, his mental health cosplay, it all paid off on Tuesday, the 19th of July, 2016, when I graduated from the University of Nottingham Medical School, and I remember it like it was 9 years ago. So, my parents, though proper gas, what they did was they bought me a brand new BMW 2 Series, cocaine white, red leather seats, push to start. Let me tell you something, London. I thought I was the man in that car. I was a fully fledged BMW wanker in that car. I remember I was late for work one time, so I was speeding, and the feds, they pulled me over. But I tried to charm my way out of it. I was like, look, man, I work with real sick kids. You gotta let me go so I could save a kid's life. But he was having none of it. He was like, imagine if you accidentally hit and injured one of those kids. What would you do then? And that's a good question. That's a real good question, but I thought about it and I was like, well, I'll just take him to work with me. That's all. I'm going there anyway. Saving the ambulance, the NHS is in debt. You got to think about that, PC Porkins. You got to. So my parents, they gifted me this car at a huge graduation party they threw for me in front of all my friends and family. And when I saw the BMW keys for the first time, oh, London, I just broke down in tears. I was like an R&B singer in the rain. I was like, man, I'm frozen, I don't know. I didn't know what to do, people. And my sons are 2 and 12 weeks, but I've not cried like that in 15 years. And some people may think that's callous. It's not. I don't know about you good people, but I only cry when I'm surprised. And you can't surprise me with a baby. My name's not Joseph. You can't do that to me. I know I'm 2,000 years too late, but I think Joseph took that news very well. Because I would have been on the Bethlehem equivalent of Jeremy Kyle. Like, imagine introducing that episode. A carpenter's wife is pregnant, but was it his wood? Find out after the break. So I tell you all of that just to say, London, that my parents spent a lot of time and money grooming me towards a medical career. So this right here is a bad return on that investment. I'm a walking, talking fire festival, that's why I am. Niche reference. So I remember it was quite difficult coming out to my dad about the comedy. So I sat him down and I asked him 3 questions. I said, first question, who is your favourite comedian? He puts his hand on my shoulder and says, Mr. Bean. Said, he's a funny guy, don't say too much, but that's cool. Second question, made it a bit easier. I said, who is your favourite doctor? Without missing a beat, he says, Dr. Dre. Say no more? Okay, cool. Third question. I made it so easy for him. I said, who is your favorite doctor comedian doctor? He said, well, there was an episode of Mr. Bean where he was a surgeon. I said, you're fucking with my life right now. That's what you're fucking with me right now. So I invited him to a show. And then he said he wants to sit in the front row. So I just charged him front row prices. And the show in question is a show in Greenwich called Beat the Blackout. Beat the Blackout. It's sponsored by the Met Police. You get a free baton with every ticket. Okay, I'm fucking around. It's called Beat the Blackout. The police hopefully aren't involved. And the concept of the show is a gong show. So 3 audience members have cards. And the idea is the act has to try to survive 5 minutes on stage. But if all 3 cards go up before that time, the stage blacks out, hence the name, and you have to go off and reconsider your life choices. Comedy is a cold game. So before coming on stage, I took inspiration from Khabib Nurmagomedov. If you don't know who he is, he's a retired UFC fighter who was in a bout one time where he was getting choked out. But he didn't tap because he vowed he'll never lose a fight with his father at ringside. 29 times he fought in the UFC, 29 times his father was at ringside, 29 times he won. He retired undefeated. And I tell you all of that just to say, my dad didn't have the same impact on me. Them lights blacked out like the rent was due. By the time they came back on, this is Man that escaped like Batman. I get home, instead of consoling me, he's asking for a refund. I said, why? What for? He said it was promised 5 minutes, only got 4. I said, damn, you sound like your daughter-in-law. Shit. But if live from the living room, he said he wanted the final minute, so live from the living room, I performed my final minute, my best minute. And when I finished, my dad stood up. And I thought, oh my goodness, on one of the first times of performing comedy, I'm gonna get a standing ovation. I even went forward to embrace this man, but he just goes and cuts the lights. I got 2 blackouts in the same evening. Comedy's a cold game. But comedy's all about timing, and maybe it's the right time to pivot into it, because it's not been rosy in the medical world recently. In the last few years, we've had all these healthcare strikes. COVID caused a crazy backlog. And I don't know, did you guys take your vaccine? Yeah. All right, because we've got to admit, when that vaccine came out, there was a lot of hesitancy, wasn't there? You know, people asking, is it safe? Was it too quick? Will it turn them into a 5G tower? All these questions people were asking. But let me tell you, when medical cannabis got approved for epileptics, hey, all I had in my DMs was, what is epilepsy? And how do I catch it? What? Who do I need to be raw dogging to catch me some epilepsy? One guy was like, I've got leprosy. I said, no, that's the wrong diagnosis. That's a whole nother treatment plan, my guy. There's no weed for that. I've checked. Done my research, man. It's funny, because my parents' generation, they wanted their kids to be like doctors, lawyers, engineers. But when I speak to young fathers in my generation, they don't want their kids to do jobs like that. All I hear from young fathers nowadays is Project Mbappe. Have you guys heard of this phenomenon? Okay, for the uninitiated, Project Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe is one of the world's best footballers, won the World Cup with France. Huh? Messi, oh damn, let's not start a civil war in here, okay. Are you Argentinian? Oh, there we go. You got to fight this to the court. Okay, one of the, not the, one of the. All hell Messi, all hell Messi. So what? One of the world's best footballer won the World Cup with France. Messi beat him in that final, fair enough. Won the World Cup with France in 20. Maradona, okay, all right, okay. I thought that's from Buenos Aires right now, man. You just in the Argentinian capital. Okay, I thought this was London, my bad. I got my geography wrong. Okay, so let's try that again. Kylian Mbappe, one of the world's best footballers, won the World Cup with France in 2018, signed from Real Madrid recently, and fathers worldwide are training their kids to be just like him. And I thought this was just online talk, so I went to the park. I saw baby grows with shin pads. I saw baby boots. I even saw Tottenham nappies, which makes sense because they're shit. I saw it all. And you know what? I think some of these fathers, they're putting too much pressure on their little boys and too much pressure on the big man upstairs. He can't work every miracle. Just because he turned water to wine don't mean your boy gonna shine. Especially if you're not contributing genetically. No, like, be serious. Where's the pace and agility gonna come from if you're built like Luke Littler? Explain that to me. Because it comes down to your DNA. Like, I can't stand here, people, and expect my son to be Project Head and Shoulders. Like, shampoo's not in his future. It's fine. What I want for my boys, I should say, is Project Nepo Baby. I want to do so well in life, any success they have is attributed back to me. And then they can go into something random. Let's say they go into, like, archaeology, and they're dusting some rocks in Bavaria, and they find evidence of the first Illuminati meeting that took place in the 18th century. Big find, but all the newspaper headlines are like, Michael Akadiri's son uses daddy's money on gap year escapade. That'll make me feel good in here. And the type of nepotism I'm talking about, so no one gets it twisted, I'm talking about that top 10 Nepo Baby League table. Have you guys seen that table? Oh my goodness, okay, so firmly in the top 10 is Rob Kardashian Jr. Before we proceed, does everyone know Rob Kardashian Jr.? Yes. Okay, shake it of the head. The two esteemed ladies there don't know. Okay, I'm gonna break it down. So do you know the Kardashian family? Okay, there's two reasons the Kardashian family are famous, in my opinion. One, back in the 90s, Rob Kardashian Sr., Rob's father, was one of O.J. Simpson's lawyers. If the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit, if you remember that. And two, in the noughties, Kim Kardashian, Rob's elder sister, she made a little home video with her then boyfriend Ray J, which got leaked, and, you know, everyone in the world saw it. Everyone in this room saw it? Yeah, some people lying, but that's cool, that's fine. Some people lying, it's like you're on a date, it's cool, you know, you don't want to check them cookies, it's cool. So, you know, they're having a dispute right now, man. Hey, man. Hey, man, I know you got that on a Sony Ericsson somewhere saved. I know that. Got that on the lock and key somewhere. I understand, man. When times get hard, I understand, bro. Okay. So there's two reasons. So the point I'm trying to make is Rob Kardashian Jr., he's not the reason he's famous. But maybe he contributed. Maybe he held the camera for Kim, shot some scenes. We don't know. I went there, check IMDb. We don't know. But that leads me to my next question, London. And for this next question, I need two things. I need one, honesty, and two, I need you to imagine you're in your 30s. If you're in your 20s, move to your 30s. If you're in your 30s, stay right there. If you're 40s and above, move back to your 30s. If I can guarantee you could retire in your 30s, and retirement is whatever you envisage it to be, would you shoot your sibling's sex tape? I had a strong yes already. Anyone else joining this very honest man? No, okay. There's one yes and one no, and everyone else saying silent. So you people on the fence, where are you at? What you do, you can pick a cousin. I don't mind. I'm not. If you don't have siblings, you can pick some. We'll find someone that you're related to, that you got some blood in that you're sharing. Okay. So, all right. What my guy here, man? How many siblings have you got? Three siblings. What's the makeup? Sisters, brothers? One sister, two brothers. And out of one sister, two brothers, who are you picking for the starring role? The fact that you had to think about that's what's concerning me. You had a 66% chance of picking one of the boys. You took your time, my good sir. Oh, my goodness. Now, I'll be honest, man. If I get asked that question, all I'm asking my brother is, do you want 4 or 8K cameras? How many angles? I'm going to direct that shit like Christopher Nolan. I told you that much for free. And I've got 3 brothers as well, so I'm going to shoot my own Dark Knight trilogy. I'll tell you that for free. You won't see me tell another fucking joke. You crazy? I'll be in Malibu by tonight. Well, you know, I don't blame Nepo babies. Some people don't like Nepo babies. And I think Nepo babies are just playing the hand they were dealt. Like, I was dealt the surname Akadiri, and I'm getting to the point in my comedy career where I do nice gigs like this, festivals, but the problem is, London, when they post a lineup for these gigs, they be fucking up my name. So my name is Michael Akadiri. Akadiri, 7 letters, 3 syllables, but when they post the lineup, I be seeing Michael Akandiri. I've seen Michael Akindari. Heck, I've even seen Michael Akinfenwa. Like, how did you get there, bruv? They're adding consonants to my name like Harold Warderman. It's crazy. The worst is when the remixing happens in person. Oh, my Lord. I was doing a gig down in Goodwood, West Sussex. Goodwood. I looked at the pensioners in that room and said, I doubt it. That wood is still good. But anyways, let's get distracted. So anyway, so the MC of the night was getting the crowd all hyped. Then the MC goes, now welcome to the stage, Michael Odewale. The crowd go fucking nuts. I'm standing here thinking, I would have taken Akinfenwa. That's crazy. So I walk onto the stage, and like, I guess I'm Michael Odewale then. And if you don't know who he is, he's a fellow British-Nigerian comic who recently performed on Live at the Apollo. If you don't know what that is, that's a top BBC stand-up showcase. When you perform on that, you can normally tour anywhere in the fucking country. But the way I bombed in Goodwood that day, he can't go there anytime soon. I told his good name. That bomb was so bad, the MC now calls me Oppenheimer. That's how bad that bomb was. Do you know one gig that doesn't mess up your name? You can throw them any name. Irish, Sri Lankan, Zulu. One gig that doesn't mess up your name is graduations. But I was naive to this initially. So I was at my first graduation, and I was there at the back holding the graduation book, and I was playing a game I like to call ethnic bingo. So I was looking for the most ethnic name in this book. I look up at the Chancellor. He's an older white dude. I'm like, he's gonna fuck up this good name. The first name gets called out. Emily Louise Amber. She runs up, bap, takes a photo, keeps it pushing. The second name, I'm like, this is the name, get ready guys, this is the name. The Chancellor, without missing a beat. Michael, Akena, Chibotso, Henry, Abimbola, Ezekiel, Lamre, Akadiri. I said, hot shit. He says my name better than me. Dumbledore did good. At the champagne reception, I see Dumbledore drinking super malt in a dashiki. I said, oh shit. Either he's well-traveled or he's been to Peckham. Either or, I'm not sure. Since my last graduation, I've been back in London. It's my home city, it's my hometown. But since having my boys, for the first time ever, I've contemplated leaving. Because it's not safe for these young boys. We could leave here tonight and some youths can come up to you. What are you looking at, cuz? To have vision is a crime. Sometimes I walk with a white stick just to safeguard myself. I may get a guide dog to complete the set. It's not safe. And you know, all this knife crime, all this other stuff, it's not just headlines for me. I've had my own close shave. I remember when I went to this 15-year-old girl's birthday party. Don't worry, I was 15 too. This is back in 08, relax. I felt the tension, this is back in 08. Oh, they're young and then, don't worry, I was young, she was young. So the girl from my school, let's just call her Summer because that was her name. And I thought it would be a little school shindig, so I roll up there with two of my friends. We walk into the house and we see about 60 Somalian guys. Somali guys, I should say. And I didn't like this immediately. This got my back up, because I told myself, if anything kicks off, I've got to deal with 20 guys myself. I don't like that. And not only was that a problem, I further found out that these weren't just any guys. They were members of the Woolwich Boys, which is a gang from South East London. And I didn't want to believe this initially, because I didn't want to fall into the trap of seeing a group of young black men and assume they're in a gang, because I subscribe to the notion we should judge someone on the content of their character, not their choice of attire. Just because gangsters wear hoodies doesn't mean everyone in a hoodie is a gangster. And we established we've got some hoodies in tonight. Are you guys gangsters? Hoodie! He just saying hoodie. That's his whole hoodie. Be proud of your hoodies. That's the point I'm making. But those are my ideals. But on the streets, I'd rather survive as a realist than die an optimist. So when not only were all 60 of these guys wearing hoodies, but they were all in ski masks, no resort, different colours like the Power Rangers, girls dancing all around them. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? But they were protecting their meat like it was a free kick. Oh, that's when I knew I was in trouble. I'm as Christian as they come, but even I said, Wallahi, I'm finished. I knew they were finna commit haram on me. But an optimist may hear all of that and be like, well, how do you know they're not part of the gay Somalian ski team? Which is a genuine suggestion I've had. So let's just run with it, London. So there's 60 gay skiers, 3 of me and my friends, and 10 girls at the dance. The DJ starts playing, Boy Better Know, Too Many Man. We need some more girls in here. We need some more girls in here. I was like, we need the police in here. We need the police. There's too many men. After the end of that song, a rival gang come to the party. I said, well, you misheard those lyrics. And me and my 2 friends, we thought this is our chance to skedaddle. So as we're leaving the party, all we hear is, oi, where are you man going? For me, that is my Olympic gun, because I was off ski. I was missing. So there's 3 of us running now. It's me, a Ghanaian, and a Mexican. Based on those 3 nationalities, who are you most fearful for? The Mexican. Because it's true, you ain't seen no Mexican in the 100 meters, have you? One has never been number 1. You understand? Like, because it's not in their DNA. The fastest Mexican you know is Speedy Gonzalez. And that's a fucking mouse. It's not in their genetics. But you know what doesn't give a damn about your genetics? Adrenaline. This guy was so far ahead, he was telling us, andale, andale. He was missing. So we run for about a mile, and I start gassing out. Do you want to know why, London? Because I'm of West African descent. I'm nifty over short distances. These guys are Somali. They're East Africans. They're just getting into their stride right about now. I turned back, they even had a fucking pacemaker. I said, shit, you've done this before. So we ran for about a mile, then we come to these like row of shops. And there was a row of shops, and I run into this, I run into this alleyway, and it's kind of shaped like a little lightning bolt. So I run in, I run to the end, and there's this wheelie bin, and I perch behind the wheelie bin. And it got real quiet, as you guys are right now. And do you know what I thought to myself? I said, thank God my girlfriend and I are arguing right now. Because if she called me at that moment, all we would have heard was a ding, 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 a ding, 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 It would have been death by Crazy Frog. But fortunately, she didn't call, and it was dark. I could see these guys, but they couldn't see me. Do you want to know why? Because gangsters don't eat carrots. So there was a fire exit door in the alleyway, and this fire exit door led to this Indian party in full swing. When I say Indian party, I'm talking food, music, everyone there dressed in saris. I was standing there in my jeans and Timberlands thinking, goodness gracious me. This guy comes and accosts me. He said, what are you doing in our party? Why are you gay crashed our party? I said, well, I'm being chased by the gay Somalian ski team. That's what I mean. See how ridiculous it sounds? So I said, I need your phone. I need to call my dad. I haven't got credit on mine. I need your phone. He hands me his phone, and this man is on 3%. I'm thinking, what self-respecting man is on 3%? But I couldn't get to it. It was an emergency. So I call my dad. And obviously, he doesn't recognize the number. So I'm like, hi, Dad. He's like, who's this? I'm like, it's me, the boy you made. He goes, oh, your mum's not in. I said, no, Dad. I'm by the fire station. I'm in Plums. I'm by the fire station. Pick me up. The phone cuts. I'm thinking, shit. Man, I'm in trouble now. And I felt terrible because I just gate crashed this party, disturbed their peace. They're all looking at me, how you looking at me now? And I'm thinking, damn, man, I think they want me gone. But I just wanted to try papadum. It was smelling so good. And let me tell you, these people were so good to me. They started giving me all the onion bhajis, all the mango nasis. Gran, Nanji, oh, she was like, namaste. I said, yeah, I'ma stay. She put the chicken jalfrezi on my plate, and I was about to tuck in. Then guess who I see outside? My father. I said, oh my goodness, how inconsiderate. You could have come after my meal. What kind of man is this? And we put the food in some Tupperware. I get some naan bread to go, got my doggy bag, I'm running outside. My dad's like, what's that? I said, that is naan, your business, let's get in the car. We're in the car, we're driving. He's asking me what was going on, who was chasing you, why did you call me out? And then we're on the A road and we see a figure just past us. Shing! We look up and it's the Mexican guy still fucking running. My dad was there when I needed him. My daddy's always been, to be fair. And it's funny, on my short parenting journey to date, I've been looking externally for inspirations of a good parent, and I've always had one right in front of me. And he's the main reason I called this show Trust Me, I'm a Daddy. It's a play on Trust Me, I'm a Doctor, which is a phrase I'm sure we're all au fait with, because doctors are seen as the embodiment of altruism, which is true to the extent, but I'm going to say something controversial. Doctors are paid to care, and if the money's not right, like we saw with the strikes, they won't be there. But when you're a parent, you pay because you care. And you don't just pay in your finances, you pay in your sacrifices and your selflessness. And I don't think there's a bigger sacrifice, bar death, than giving up your dream for your child. And that's what my father did for me. So that's why I think I'll never be a better father than my father, because he gave up his dream for me. And I haven't had to do that. In fact, you spent the last hour watching me chase mine. Oh, and what did you say? Oh, thank you, Miss Argentina. I appreciate that, man. Live feedback, I like it. And I don't know where this journey will take me. I have no idea where this journey will take me. But if I reach the heights that I envisage, that then means my boys, my sons, will forever be in my shadow. So that has been Trust Me, My Daddy. Thank you so much for coming out, people. Thank you for your time, ears, and energy. I really, 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 really appreciate it. So thank you. Thank you. Really, really appreciate it. What I want to say before I go, if you've enjoyed that, I've been Michael Akadiri. If you've hated it, I've been Michael Odewale. Take care. God bless. God bless. Thank you. Woo!